Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today, I want to talk about how there is absolutely no legitimate reason to want a revolver chambered in a semi-automatic caliber. But before I do that, I want to let you all know some news here regarding toy guns for tots. One, we have broke the $9,000 mark. We're well on our way to making that $12,000 or $13,000 to match last year. So if you want to donate, please go on over to tympistolproject.com. There's a link in the upper corner of this video. You can go over and donate. If you want merchandise, that is now available also over there. If you look right above the normal section for Toy Guns for Tots, there's a little banner there that says Toy Guns for Tots Shop. If you click on that, that'll take you to the items that are available right now. There's several items over there. There is a sweatshirt, there's a t-shirt, there's a mug, there's a travel mug, there's a tumbler. There's just all kinds of things. There's even one item over there that I'll tell you more about later where you can buy it and give it to a gift to someone and say, hey, I made a donation to Toy Guns for Tots on your behalf, and this is your gift. So I'll give you more information about that one later, but for right now, if you want to go over to tympistolproject.com, you can either get yourself some of the Toy Guns for Tots merchandise and proudly advertise the program and say, look, I donated to Toy Guns for Tots. I care about the children's. And you can also, like I said, if you just want to while you're over there, you can just donate if you want to make your money go as far as possible. But I wanted to let everyone know, go over to tympistolproject.com, donate, or click that link and go get you some Toy Guns for Tots merchandise. Now, with that being said, I want to move on to our topic here. Now, there is no reason, period, why anyone would want a revolver chambered in a semi-automatic caliber. I think we can all admit that, because anytime you change a revolver, unless it's just 38 special only and you change it to 9mm, you're going to be going down in potency as far as the caliber is concerned. You can always get the same size gun more powerful in a revolver caliber. Like if you get a revolver, like let's say an LCR chambered in 9mm, well, you can get it in .357 Magnum, much more powerful, same size gun. Same thing if you get it in a 40. You can get it in .357 Magnum, much more powerful, same size gun. And if you get it in .357 Magnum, you might say, well, a reason to have the lower calibers, the 9mm or the 40, is for recoil, so you can have less recoil. Well, you can get .357 Magnum loaded to pretty much any level, and you can also shoot 38 specials in your gun. So there's never really a reason to go down to those semi-automatic calibers. You have limited yourself there. Like I say, if you have the .357 Magnum, you can shoot a wide range of power levels. And the gun is usually just a little bit heavier and absorbs recoil a little better. Because like if you're shooting 38 specials out of a .357 Magnum, it's going to handle that recoil very well. With 40, 9mm, etc., you're fairly limited and you're fairly restricted by the actual chambering of the gun. So there's really no reason, because we all know the only advantage that semi-automatics really have over revolvers is capacity. So if you're taking away the capacity by chambering that round into a revolver, what's the point of going to the neutered round? So I think we can all admit that, right? Well, we can, but there is actually, believe it or not, a legitimate reason to have small revolvers especially chambered in semi-automatic calibers. Let's say your everyday carry is a Beretta 92FS or 92X or whatever, and it's chambered in 9mm, or if you get a 96, it's chambered in 40. You've got 17 plus 1 rounds, 18 plus 1 rounds, 16 plus 1, depending on which gun you have and which magazines you have. But let's say you want to carry a small backup. And like a little Ruger LCR fits that bill perfectly. It's a great little backup gun. It's not so small that it's hard to use, but it's small enough that you can hide it pretty much anywhere, even on a pouch, on a duty belt or whatever. And, you want to have this backup gun, but you don't want to have to carry extra ammo. You want to have the same ammo in your backup gun as your primary gun. That makes sense. Here's one reason that makes perfect sense. Some people say, well, what does it matter? If your primary gun has failed or you lose it or it gets away from you or whatever, what's your backup gun being in the same caliber going to matter? Well, a lot of times you're going to lose your primary gun because of a failure, which means there's still going to be rounds in the magazine, or you have an extra magazine on you, hopefully. And if you have to resort to your backup gun and you shoot that dry because it's only 5 shots, well, you just reload out of your magazines. You've got a whole bunch of reloads there for that little revolver, be it 40, 9mm, whatever, 45 ACP. You can't really get the smaller guns in the 45 ACP. There's not a lot of those. So really it only makes sense when it's like 9 or 40 because you can get it in those little backup guns. But that's a perfectly good reason right there to want a revolver chambered in a semi-automatic caliber. If it's not your primary carry gun, if it's a backup gun, then that makes perfect sense. Also, let's say you're someone that, hey, my dad died and left me 5 million rounds of 9mm, and that's the only caliber I have, but I want a nice little revolver to carry. Well, that makes perfect sense also. You're using resources you already have. You're not actually making a decision of what caliber do I want to carry and what caliber do I want to stock up on. You've already got the resource there, so you're buying the tool to match the resources. So that makes perfect sense. So there are no absolutes really here. We're not Sith. Although I always tell people, they say, whoa, what kind of Jedi would you be? I'm like, if I was a Jedi, I'd be Sith. I know that. I'm not even going to pretend like I'd be a Jedi, like I'd be that pious. I just wouldn't. I know me. I know my weaknesses. If I got power, I'm going to use it for my benefit too. So, like I said, we're not Sith. So there's no absolutes. So even though usually buying a revolver chambered in a semi-automatic caliber is not the best decision if you're making it in a vacuum, like you're deciding, I want a revolver and I'm going to choose what caliber I want it in and we'll start buying that caliber. Well, then you do the best you can, get the best caliber you can in it, and that's going to be a revolver caliber. But like I say, you've got lots of 9mm, you need a small revolver that you can use that in, makes perfect sense. If you carry a 9mm or a 40, and you want that as a backup gun that you can use your extra mag and whatever's left in the mag of your original gun if you keep it on you, that makes perfect sense. You can use those to reload. So there are reasons for little revolvers, especially little ones good for backup, that are chambered, and even bigger ones, like I said, if you've got all that ammo, that are chambered in semi-automatic calibers, because in the end, we love to make fun. Like we love to make fun of people who carry 9mm, justifiably so. We love to make fun of people who carry certain guns, if it's not the ones we like. That's just human nature. But in the end, it's all a bunch of decisions that it's up to you to make. And none of them are really stupid. You might have a variety of reasons why you make a decision. Maybe you just want some variety. Let's say you've got a bunch of 357 Magnum revolvers. You're like, I'd like to try one in 40. Or 10mm. I have some 10mm revolvers. That's a valid reason. I wanted to try it. That's a very valid reason also for there to be revolvers chambered in semi-automatic calibers. So when we're being playful and we're making fun of other people, of course we can make fun of that stuff. But in the end, there's lots of circumstances and lots of reasons why people in the gun community would want something that a lot of people think might not make a lot of sense. All right, everybody, I am out of here. Remember, Toy Guns for Tot merch is now available. Go on over to tymppistolproject.com. I already said the link is in the upper corner of this video. I'll also, just in case, I'll put the links down in the description of this video for people that are on mobile and those little things up there don't work. Also, I'll put a link directly to the shop if you can't get the link to work on the actual page. That'll also be in the upper corner of this video and down in the description. So go on over, support Toy Guns for Tots if you at all can. However you want to do it, just donating or buying some merch, because there's a lot of kids out there that will be very grateful that you did. And with that being said, I am out of here. I want to thank everyone for coming. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Until then, I want to remind everyone out there to always carry, even if it's a semi-automatic caliber revolver. And stay safe until I see you again.